And we're live. What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls? This is episode 1 of our new show, Convos. I am your host, Murph, aka the Dirty Kenzo, coming to you from your favorite network over here, the Dirty Kenzo, of course. Episode 1 of Convos, again brought to you by Dirty Kenzo Productions, with a special guest with us tonight, the one and only. He's been here a few times. Some of y'all may know him. Coming to our live podcast and talk show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Cheese Girl Poppy.
Hello.
That's how he says hello. Let's give him the Convos music. Hit it. Play that fucking music, jerk off.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Dirty Kenzo Production.
Greta Thunberg was
yeah, I seen. Yeah, no. We're not going to talk about that yet. We're going to bring that up in a minute. But what's going on, everybody? Once again, yeah, Cheese Girl Poppy is here with us tonight. Junior. Appreciate everybody who's here. We're going to jump into chat just to do some quick hellos real quick. Nat said she'll be listening tonight. We appreciate you, Nat. Vic LFM. Babe. Ma. Pammy. Don Philly, my guy. Wendy, how you doing? Frank Beans. We're just breezing through tonight. Tam, I see you. All right, guys. So if you weren't here for our, any of our other shows, we kind of just, had wung it. We just, bounced topics and ideas, and I kind of see, from my perspective, to the youth, he's 20 years younger. We asked the questions of, where, what life looks like through the eyes of the difference. Hassan, salute, brother. With the difference 20 years can make, and the perception and the way the youth looks at things as compared to us. So as I said, guys, episode 1 of Convos, our new live podcast and talk show. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're just trying to add more content during the week, trying to fulfill as many days as possible. We're going to have a lot of great interviews, a lot of great topics coming up, stories. Definitely tune in Convos every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Josh, what's up, brother? Do not miss Cooking with Kellz this week, guys. It's giveaway week on both our shows. So giveaway on Cooking with Kellz are usually a fun, quick one. Guess a number, shit like that. But you have to watch Cooking with Kellz to gain the password for 420. You'll hear that song. You'll hear that word password in a song. You'll say password. You'll win quick cash. With all that out the way, how we doing there, Cheese Curl Poppy? I'm just gonna call him Junior or June or son or boy, like I call him when I'm talking to him in real life. But how goes it, sir?
I think I inhaled too much sawdust. That's cool. So my lungs. I've been coughing all day.
That's lovely.
Indeed.
Sawdust. Oh, I mean, it's my dad was Pop was yelling at me the other day because we're tearing into the ceiling, and he's like, "Cover your face. That's asbestos." And I'm like, "Yeah, Pop, I know how to keep it out of my face, and I'm not face diving in a pile of trash here. We're okay." But just to give you guys a little, preview into the psychosis that Junior and I create together. This is one of my oldest YouTube videos, very short. Improv, basically. On his part, it's all improv. I mean, he only said what and laughed. But unexpected. And this is how we explain capitalism. Tom.
Yeah.
You're grounded.
Why?
Because capitalism. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can now ground your kids on the basis of capitalism. American.
A practice done many times.
American. Anyone that is into gaming, things like that, that's actually we'll let you do that. Why don't you let the people know what your channel is about before we get into philosophical and things of that.
Yeah, mostly.
Sorry. All your channels, if you have.
Yeah, mostly just on the Cheese Curl Poppy, the one I care most about. It's like the favorite child that wins all the trophies, but it's gonna burn out when they're 30. But have that one, and that's for I'll not recommend you recommend it to your 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's like
that,
it's for gaming.
But do it anyway.
I was looking through. One of your shorts got like 4K on it.
Yeah, I know. Most of them, my shorts have been carrying my channel for months now.
That's good. No, shorts help. I had put up that jackhammer video and it got like 22. Oh shit! It got up 22K in like a day. I'm like, what the? It's nothing.
Especially if you put tags on it with like vidIQ, they really soar.
But it wasn't even not like that. I just shared it, but it must have been like.
My thing is, I upload shorts at it's either right around 6 p.m. or midnight, so that way people who are staying up to 4 a.m. see it.
So you would say your channel is like gaming with your sense of humor, because you get your narrative, you explain things, but also you keep it very professional. You don't in the aspect of you're not in the comment sections having huge conversations. You're not talking to people behind.
It's mostly one because no one in my fucking comments says anything I could really give a lengthy response to. It's usually just a simple.
But that's what I'm saying.
This is good. This is shit. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to it other than I didn't ask, but okay, bro. Thank you.
I mean, but like you see what we have with our community now. So there's not a community behind it necessarily.
I mean, there is a little bit, but it's mostly just my friends going in there to just see what stupid shit I'm talking this week. So if you want to call that a community, but I don't know. Over the past, especially with YouTube Shorts, I'm a small community off of me making fun of one specific game, and everyone that plays it saying, "I've never been offended by something." 100%
That's the one
agree
I've
with.
seen. That's the one I've seen. Yeah, I was gonna try to get it, but shorts are a little harder to download. But yeah, all right, guys. I just wanted to get the channel stuff out of the way. Appreciate everybody subbing up. Kellz dropped the link. As I said, he keeps it very, to gaming is the point. But it's his sense of humor along with it. So I definitely tune in. He went live streams. I'll tune in. It's him and his friends, and they're doing their thing. So All right, guys. So the way we're going to break combos down, episode 1, next week will be a little different. Next week, I'm going to come with some topics. It'll be a very structured show. And then there'll be a back half of the show where we'll have open panel for discussion. Tonight, we're just going to keep it, me and him. Like I said, if you watch the last ones, it's kind of like like Joe Rogan podcast, just casual conversation. Please make sure you guys are hitting that like button for us. Sharing if you can, and word of mouth is always good. And if you wanted to contribute to the brand Dirty Kenzo Productions, of course, you can do that on Cash App. Once again, you are not obligated, but appreciate it. We appreciate it. We know your money is hard earned, and we put a lot behind that. So I wanted to Junior actually spoiled it a little bit a few minutes ago, but I wanted to bring that up, that Greta, what's her last name?
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg. She's a young lady from Sweden. She's got pretty famous over being an activist for climate change. And it was reported earlier today that she was arrested at a protest. I can't exactly remember the country.
Judging by the outfits the police were wearing, I think Germany, because that's
maybe
in Germany.
maybe.
It was Penazi.
But I wanted to first, we on Convos and anything from Dirty Kenzo Productions, we try to think of things a little outside the box. We try to ask questions that others may not ask. So before we get too far into what this is about, I just want to talk a little bit about, the young lady. I feel she's become a face piece for a movement, for and against. There's a counterculture. There's a counterculture that's very against the idea of global warming.
Mm-hmm.
There's a culture that's very for it, and it's very divisive, of course. But I feel like she's almost become a face piece more than anyone else I could even really think of. Like, who would be her opposition? I'm Bill Gates. No, same team. So there's not there's not
when she started, it was mostly Trump that was,
that's what I'm saying. There's not somebody out there other than Trump saying that.
Well, now Andrew Tate, but he don't really care about the climate shit.
Well, yeah, we'll get into Tate in a little bit.
But I say he wasn't really on the climate thing.
Do you question real quick? Do you still do bonehead history?
I haven't done it in a very long time, so no, at the moment. It's simply the fact of making history videos that aren't 30 minutes long with 80 tangents is very difficult to find a single event that you don't need context to understand.
I mean, if you could do 5-minute videos, that's not too bad.
But I need to find things that I can fit in the 5 minutes. That's where the problem arises.
That's true.
Can't really cover any war because most wars are too long. And not to mention YouTube likes to get their panties in a bunch about anything. So
you try to keep your
history isn't something YouTube's a big fan of, because they don't understand the fact that history is often not a very nice thing to talk about. It's very terrible.
Well, I want to get into a few topics about that. I have a topic about that as well, but let's just stay focused here on what is your opinion, specific opinion on Greta, or even if you don't want to go down that road, what is your specific opinion on the divisiveness of, is it real, is it not, let's fight over it, and etc.
Well, my opinion on Greta Thunberg is she's Swedish. That's kind of gross, but
just Swedish. That's it.
I don't know. I kind of, global warming, it is real. So I mean,
but I mean, but what would you say to those? I can't think of the word, but they contradict that, retractors against global warming itself, to say the earth always heats.
Well, I mean, deny it all you want, doesn't stop it from actually happening.
No, it happens.
Just digging your head in the sand isn't exactly.
Yeah, but the point is, they dispute: are we doing it with our emissions?
We are, though. Global warming does happen after, but we're excelling it too fast, which is causing issues.
But it's very divisive, even with scientists that believe it's at its regular pace.
Most of those vote red.
But I'm saying, what do you say to that the divide?
There's a divisiveness on literally everything. So, I mean, it's not like that's a special subject, to be honest. Everything else, the economy, fucking
Scotland, Vic LFM, Net, salute family. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you spoke on YouTube a little bit ago about you said they didn't really like they didn't like the history and because sometimes it's been so it came out this week that you can't use profanity in your first 15 seconds of your video. Again, as you just said, people are divisive on everything, and they were divisive on that. Yesterday, the day before, you had said to me it was 30 because that's what it was before, and so obviously they cut it in half to get it to 15, and it's like we're still getting people divisive, and why you said it to me, but I'd like you to say it to the crowd of why, the listeners rather, on why you think that. If you remember our previous conversation.
On what exactly? What conversation?
Yeah, I kind of dead ended that sentence.
I was gonna say, yeah. What are you talking
Trying to think. Oh, because I said, well, what would they complain about if they got to 15? And you said that's what something was specifically made for.
It was basically so like the first 15 seconds, so advertisers, because no human being works there at any business, so it's just a robot that checks for a second, and you're like, yep, and that's good, and then leaves. So it's basically just how to trick a machine. But my whole point is you should be allowed to curse as much as you want on YouTube. It shouldn't matter because if you're afraid of a little kid hearing it and then they're cursing, that doesn't sound like my problem, to be honest.
But to be less cynical about it, that you brought up the point of what's the point of YouTube Kids?
Exactly, the app YouTube Kids, because honestly, because if no kids using that, why the fuck do you still have it up?
And I mean, I gotta agree to the extent of I even say it on my shows, like parental advisory. If you're a parent, you hear my voice, you got a badass little kid, because that's like, I mean, I've seen little kids on YouTube. The parents zone out, the little kids are fucking walking away on the tablet, head stuck in it. And sometimes I don't think the parents pay attention, but I do. I'll take a little gander at the tablet or the phone. And some of the shit, even though it's little kid shit, they're saying weird shit. Like, I'm going to kill Johnny.
I don't think any adult watching this, listen, I don't sound like a narc or a snitch pussy, but all I'm saying is, listen, if you see your kid, like, watching, like, even a video about, like, people playing with Play-Doh, listen to what they're saying, because it is the weirdest motherfuckers that be making those videos.
Yep.
A couple years ago, it was a very, like, it was like a long-running series. Like, these guys were the most creative, low-key pedos I've ever seen. But, dude, it was Spider-Man and Elsa from Frozen, two characters that any little kid will recognize and be like, oh, hey, I know those. Click on it. And it was weird as fuck. It was like Spider-Man gets Elsa pregnant. It was like porn on the low porn titles. Yeah. YouTube didn't do shit about it for 3 years.
Because, as you said, it's algorithm based, and
little kids. It appeals to both genders. Little boys know who Spider-Man is, and little girls know who Elsa is.
But what I'm saying, unless it's reported by
and little kids sure shit don't know.
Little kids don't know how to report, and unless a mass amount of parents catch on, the algorithm's not going to catch it if they don't.
And people my age aren't even going to find it most likely, or don't care enough.
They're not going to look at it. You're not.
They're like, that's weird. Keep scrolling. Mind my business.
What age is the main viewership on any?
Well, it's internet age, so 18 to 34. People 35, are around our range.
What 18 to 35-year-old is clicking on anything Spider-Man and Elsa? They don't even know who the hell Elsa is. They know who Elsa is.
Yeah, but they're not a fan enough to give a fuck.
I bet you a high percentage would call her Frozen. They wouldn't even call her Elsa.
However, people my age probably would click on a Spider-Man video.
But that's what I'm saying. So and you're not paying attention, and then when you click on the video, it's like Elsa's like, I'm gonna murder you, put my hands around your throat. You're like, yo, this is for 4-year-olds. What are we doing?
No, it's really weird because I've always wondered who are you appealing to, because what little kid understands what pregnancy is in the first place? So it's like, who are you trying to get the humory jokes out of? Kids don't understand the jokes. No one my age cares enough to watch.
And as I was saying, the algorithm being algorithm based, they're not using these trigger words, so the algorithm's not getting them. They're not saying the R words or any of these words that trigger the algorithm to grab you. You can say that. The R word, for taking sex. You can say that online, but you can't give misinformation around it. You can't be like, you can't give any hearsay, any guessing. If you're like, this could, they say that study says blah, 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 boom, you say the word, you're allowed to do it because I've seen it on certain things. Rich, salute, brother. I've seen it on certain programs where they say it, and I'm like, all right, well, they're not getting demonetized because they're giving a very scientific, answer.
But something that not just kids watch. It's mostly moms that watch these kind of life hack videos, right?
Mhm.
There was one. I forget that it's like 1, 2, 3, go or some shit. Yeah, I'm taking shots at them. Fuck them. But one of it's like weird because they appeal to kids because the narrator lady's very happy, jovial sounding, high.
Wendy, thank you, Wendy. I see your comment, but I just got the Cash App as well, so thank you very much.
It's a very child friendly like announcer lady that would welcome in kids. A nursing kind of voice. And the life hack. It was like 5 pranks to play on your sibling. It's like 4 of them were like real childish shit, like, oh, put some Mentos in their soda. Like you're just kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
But the final prank was the weirdest shit. It was get a Nerf gun or water gun, wrap it in tin foil, and put it in their bag when they go to the airport. I'm like, what the fuck kind of prank is this? Ain't a prank. That's how your brother gets fucking detained by Homeland Security.
We just took a big 180.
How do you go from ruin his lunch to ruin his fucking life? Like, what the fuck?
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, I mean, and it shows you have to pay the fuck attention on the internet. And these parents out here, I've seen them. So I'm speaking on personal experience when I say I've seen a parent where the kid is fucking head stuffed into a device, and guess what the parents do? Head stuffed in a fucking device, and you're like, yo, bro, you don't hear, or yo, sis, you don't hear what your fucking kids listening to? Like, here's the word. I'm gonna paint a picture for y'all. Horrible predicament. You know when it's horrible to see bad parenting the most? The drug dealer's house. The weed man's house. Because you go to the weed man's house and his kid's like, I will he's watching a video, it's like Rocky and Bullwinkle, and it's like, I will fucking murder you. You're like, yo, dude, what's your kid watching? He's like, man, fuck that kid. You're like, whoa. That ain't even my kid. I don't even know where that little kid came from.
He's just been in here since I got this house. I assume he lived here before me. I ain't gonna evict him this week.
Oh, that little kid, he lived next door. Fuck him. Just push him out the way. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, nowadays they call him a helicopter parent, but I don't know if because they hover over their kids. Yeah. But I don't know if I would be a helicopter.
Orbital satellite parent, because occasionally swoop by.
No, because on a lot of shit with you, especially because you're my first kid, you're my oldest, you're my son, So like with you, it would be like, I would be like, don't go in that street. Don't go in that street. I would tell you a lot. You go to do it too much, give you a little tap in the ass. No, don't. And then you started to pick up on it. But then I would take that step back and see how you would see what you do on your own. Because those helicopter parents, that's when they get the kid. And you see this happen every day when someone loses their mind on camera. Mm-hmm. And that's what that is. It's the helicopter parent. They never had to learn how to. For instance, I was watching something and I noticed this trend. This was like a police encounter that escalated. And I just noticed that like nowadays, it's not even your generation. I'd say it's the one under you, maybe like, let's say max 14, 15.
That'd still be my generation.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, let's say, tweens, every 12, 13, 14. When a situation happens that gets out of control, they freeze up almost in a way where they go, nah, this ain't happening. This gotta stop. And they're like, bro, and I'm like watching the video and I'm like, in a way, I want to be like, shut the fuck up. Who are you? You're not stopping nothing. Shut up, Queen of Sheba. But on the same, I feel bad because they're triggered. They don't know how to handle it. That's how they're handling it.
Well, I mean, it's also.
But they're like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. And their shit somebody's just getting beat up in the background. They're like, this gonna stop. I said this gonna stop. And their cops like, say one more word, and I'm tasing you, kid. So it's.
That reminds me of the how come people are fighting or there's a crime happening? People record it. I'm like, why would you get mad? Isn't reporting a crime just as important as documenting said crime? Because, hey, you report it. Now there's literal proof of someone doing it. So now they probably will go to jail for it. So, I mean, it's the same thing. Both are very important.
Thursday, salute.
Also, I want to say, again, I don't want to say, I feel bad for your 8-year-old's going to hear me tell you guys this, but unless you have, like, the internet restriction things on, and still, there's ways around it, your kid's most definitely seen what a titty looks like already. I'm gonna let you know that. I think
there's ways around it because
there is. You know how many porn sites exist on the internet, bro?
I think there's ways to make sure your kid don't see.
They have fucking Google.
Like, I mean, you got to understand. Once your kids go to school, shit changes.
Once your kid sees a titty, then they're like, all right, they're no longer a kid at that point.
I mean, yeah, I would.
Well, I
agree.
mean, up to
in
that
a way,
price, but
in a way, I would
like,
agree.
holy cow!
I was very young.
Oh,
I was very young the first time I seen a girl naked, and the kid kind of blackmailed his older sister to do it. So for me, it's nothing. I'm not related, but it's like, there's your sister, dude. Like when I was 5, I didn't think nothing of it, but now I think in retrospect, I'm like, that was kind of weird. But even it is kind of weird because she's a teenager. I'm a little kid, and I'm just, I'm curious, of course. But you're right, in a way, it if it doesn't take away your childhood, it definitely takes away part of your innocence. Like, you know what I mean? Like with that childlike innocence, thinking the world's pure before you know there's
I
scumbags.
feel like thinking the world was pure is just because you're a kid and you're kind of, still kind of dumb. So, you haven't really gotten smarter yet.
I mean, experience means a lot.
It's just like, why do people think TV shows or things from when you played with or watching when you were a kid are really good when they're kind of shit? It's because you're a little kid and you're not critical of anything.
Nostalgia
You
is
absorb everything.
Well, no, nostalgia is. I mean, this is why Watchmen. If you read the comics, there was a drug called nostalgia, and that's what it did. And that's nostalgia is a drug because it's one memory, and I mean sometimes you can remember smells.
I remember
Like
when
you can totally have your
that's happened
senses,
to me before.
your entire senses get ensnared by hearing a commercial, or like I spoke on Nostalgic Breakfast Sundays 10 a.m. shameless plug, but like when I hear Under the Boardwalk, everyone knows that song, Under the Boardwalk. My brain takes me just like right to Wildwood, New Jersey, late 80s, early 90s. You know what I mean? Like that nostalgia is just, it floods your brain in.
And I remember when the the latest Star Wars trilogy came out, the divisive one. It was, they only brought this back to make toys. Star Wars has always been about that. Just like every other product you absorbed as a child. They never give a fuck about you then. You made them money. They don't care about you. Like every business, you could drop dead right the fuck now, and they will not give a single fuck.
I tell everybody that
you're a fucking cash cow. That's all that matters.
Your obituary, I mean, the help wanted will be in the paper before your obituary. You got to remember that something. I mean, you don't want to quit every job you get because then you start to gain that reputation. But
make it a game. Anytime something, whether it's a video game, movie, cartoon, book, doesn't matter. It's getting rebooted or remade. They're always people saying they're only making this for money. Yeah, just like the first fucking time. It's always for money.
Now, see, I see a comment. Wendy's, talking. They're talking about getting dick pics and shit like that. I think that's just if it's a person you know. If it's a person you know, they just weren't raised right. And even the ones you don't know, but it's even weirder when it's a stranger. I just. There's
never had sexy times with sexy strangers.
There has never been a picture of my dick on the internet or sent to somebody else. I have never sent a picture of my dick to nobody.
Oh.
And I wouldn't. It's weird.
Parents, another thing you should look out. If your kid has an unfiltered Google, or even if it is filtered, they go on like omengo.com. There's a lot of Indian men ready to show their dick.
Yeah, I know, but I think right now there's a lot of crazy shit happening with a lot of stuff. Like I heard Roblox, like crazy shit happens.
There's
Minecraft.
There's pedo.
I heard
there's pedos selling CP and shit all over the fucking place because they know who plays Roblox the most, young kids, and they're fucking stupid. So,
that's where Kim Kardashian heard about that.
Yeah, they were showing her sex tape. That's just kind of funny. I gotta be honest. I found
that crazy.
They were broadcasting her sex tape on a
Mom,
big TV.
You ain't funny, Mom.
What'd she say?
I would never send my dick pic out either.
That's good, honestly. Very good moral.
She raised us right. Good mother. I hope you ain't got a dick or my mommy. But yeah, I think that's from our perspective, we came up in the internet a little different time. You were 6 when smartphones dropped.
Yeah, he came out in 07. So
yeah. 07, so you were like 4 or 5. But yeah,
that's when the touch screen at least came out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The things were, I mean, internet was already existing. You could go on Facebook on flip phones.
Yeah.
Shit like that. People were going on Facebook. I'm sure people were doing a lot of other shit as well because you can go on Facebook. You can go on other internet sites.
I think it was something like the I forget the exact like time frame, but like the internet like officially like when it was fully like done the beta or whatever in like the early 90s, it only took like a month before the first porn site came on there. I'm like, that just shows the supply and demand. Google, all search engines didn't exist, but if you wanted to wank it, that was easily available, as God intended.
I mean, like even Queen Kellz, love my life, says only nudes I ever taken were quickly erased after my husband saw them. I mean, that's what it was too. We take a naked picture, we look at it, and we're like, nice, delete. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand people that are like, let's just upload that.
I don't get saving.
Remember the celebrities that all had all their nudes leaked? Jennifer Lawrence.
It's because they just recycle them instead of the same to 8 people.
Yeah, who gets a nude? They're like, oh, I look hot in a nude. Let's upload that to the cloud. Oh no, my nudes are all over the internet. How'd they get
I don't see an issue with personally. Obviously, I don't want it to happen to me or anyone. But at the same time, having your nudes leaked is just
I mean, once you're a celebrity,
if you're like a host on like PBS Kids, then yeah, that could be detrimental to you. But if you're like a real celebrity, aka you just appeal to adults,
so that's what. If you're a celebrity, there's not as big of a problem.
It's just
if you're a normal person.
Can't get fired for having your dick on the internet. That's
man, people nowadays get fired for making the wrong comment.
That's a comment. You could just say somebody stole.
What did Louis C.K. get canceled for?
Nutting on his own stomach.
Playing with his dick. Didn't touch nobody. Didn't say that. Was just inappropriately touching himself and got canceled. So you can't tell me that you couldn't get canceled for that.
Well, you mean the guy who made jokes? You mean the guy who made jokes about being a masturbation addict for a decade may have been a little addicted to masturbation? Wow, I'm utterly shocked.
Shocked.
You ever see the debate he had with Christians against masturbation, and he was on pro masturbation?
He's like the only guy on the team, I'm sure.
She was like, masturbation is against that. Like, but have you ever actually like masturbated? Like, it's really good. It's really, really good.
He's an asshole. That's funny. But yeah, I think Salute Pilato. I think that's, as a parent, that's a full-time job, man, trying to protect your kids in that way. But you don't want to, again, be the helicopter parent. You want to give them enough. Like, that's like when it came to you, it was like, I'd be like, yo, y'all, once it's dark, come in, or shortly after dark. This is where we live. You know what I mean? Out here, things change. I gave you guys more freedom. But it's like, I was doing wild shit when I was a kid in Kensington. Like, going places. Like, I was talking to I work with my old man now, Chat, Junior knows, and I'm talking about shit I did when I'm 10, 11, and got on the train and went to West Philly from Kensington to West Philly. So he's like, wait, how old were you? I was like, I was 10. He's like, lovely. He's like, well, you made it back. I guess I can't be mad. But yeah, when it's coming to, I seen something the other day. It was saying something about maybe Fortnite or Minecraft, but it was a level you could go on, and it was like satanic or something.
That's just edgelords trying to be funny.
I think a lot of
the game itself.
I was gonna say I think a lot of the satanic shit you see nowadays is just because trolls know how.
No, if you see a pentagram with a goat head, it makes you go.
Yeah, trolls know how some people react, so they want the reaction.
And no, Minecraft is just, you have the freedom to build whatever you want. People use that freedom in negative ways. That's just what happens when you give people freedom to do anything. There will be people who use it negatively. That's just how it is.
Pammy, they sure have, haven't they? She said there's people masturbating on YouTube. Oh, there has been one. I would say one or two, but it was the only one.
Oh, on Twitch, the live streaming thing. There's a bit of it's because you can have like, you don't have to play a game or anything. You can just chatting where you just there's ones where girls just sit in a bathtub and chat with their audience. I'm just thinking this is just softcore porn at this point. But the problem is guys can't do that. They can do it, but we can't. That's the only issue I have with it. Like, yeah, softcore, that's the great, but why can't I do the same thing? A guy did it, he got his channel taken down. So I mean,
that's crazy.
I feel like me sitting in a kiddie pool in a bathing suit during a Q&A would be a really funny idea.
Holy shit. Heaven, do you want to come up in a minute and talk about that?
What?
She said it. She has a story. It's a little too long to text. It's about an app on her daughter's phone. They were watching her through it.
Was it one of the talking Ben, talking Tom kind of thing? Because they do that. Anytime an app like asks for your microphone, there's a good chance that's probably what they're using it for. Same with your camera. That's just what they're asking for.
But yeah, I'll bring you up real quick, Kev. I ain't got a problem with that. definitely join the conversation. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button for us. Episode 1 of Convos, right here on the Dirty Kenzo, your favorite network. Yeah, that's like the scary shit. What Heaven's talking about right there. That's it was Talking Angela.
There you go. Knew it. I feel it's one of those. Yeah, they all do that.
Well, don't say too much about it. I'm gonna let Heaven
Yeah.
come up and say it, but you're aware, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I've heard of things of like this as well, but hearing about people being on Roblox and. Do you know what I mean? Like
Honestly, shout out Roblox. That's where I came up with the
Minecraft.
Cheese Girl Poppy name from. Anyway, I made it when I was playing that. I feel Minecraft is a little more. It keeps it a little more down pat because more adults play that than Roblox.
Yeah, that's
so
a
it's
fact,
It's a little
Rich.
more contained.
That's a fact, Richie. I got you.
What?
Hef. He said motherfuckers are sick.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, Seth.
Hi.
That's Elijah.
Hi.
Hey,
Anyways,
Liza.
he said hi. Watch out, get up off me. All right, so anyways,
Yeah.
when Eden was like 3, she had a tablet. And one night I was laying on the couch and I heard her, she was like having a conversation with herself. And I didn't think anything of it until I heard them ask about the cat, because we had a cat. And I heard them ask about the cat behind her. So I started listening to it and what it was saying. And they were talking, they were asking her weird questions. Like when I started paying attention, they were like, is your favorite time of day night or day? And then it was asking her. So I told Eden to start asking them questions, and they were answering her. I told Eden to ask if it was a boy or a girl, and they said it was a girl. And I asked what color hair do they have, and they said red hair. They were asking her some weird questions. I can't remember, but
That's so crazy. Like
yeah.
seeing in your house through an app just added on a
Yes.
tablet. Like,
Yes, it was so crazy. So when her dad got home,
Wow.
I told him about it, and he like looked into the app, and it said it had like access to all her shit, like her camera. It had access to everything.
yeah.
So
They
we
get
deleted
crazy
it,
with that. They add your contacts, your
everything.
some passwords.
Yeah, everything. And then we seen on the news that there was like some, there was something going on with that app. So now I don't let any of my kids use that.
Yeah, I mean, first off, terms of service are super important. You got to read them to know what they're accessing in your phone, because all you got to do is click accept, and then it's like they got your camera, your contacts, your keyboard, everything.
Yeah, it was super creepy. So
Oh my God, I could imagine you just like in my head. I could imagine you just like you said, you were laying on the couch, just laying there and slowly starting to pay attention. That wait a minute, how the hell they know she got a pink shirt on? Wait, my cat. Like you start catching on slowly. Oh my God, it's like a suspense.
they
movie.
asked her if she was a freak. Yeah, they asked her about the cat, and she said,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's my kitty." And they said, "Are you a freak?" And Eden was like, "A freak." And then they said, "Yeah, is your favorite time night or day?" And that's when I was like, "Oh hell no!" So I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna see if they're like really talking to her, or if they, because I was like, what the hell? I didn't know." But then they started answering her questions back, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not cool."
Yeah, I mean that's not something you want your 12-year-old dealing with, let alone a 3 or 4-year-old.
Exactly. That's why I don't let the kids watch
Jesus
YouTube
Christ.
or none of that shit.
Yeah, that's what
like
I'm
he was
saying.
saying, those shows that he was talking about, they are really weird. Like Eden used to watch that stuff. I didn't really pay much attention to it then, because like he said, you think it's just like some innocent stuff. But no, I started paying attention to it. And even not even just like the characters are weird, but like even like you have like little families, like families start their YouTube channels and then they have their kids on there doing it, and their kids are doing weird shit too,
Yeah, a lot
These
of
people
that's
are like
weird.
exploiting their kids.
Yep.
And it's just
I remember
really
the one
weird.
guy got canceled. The family got canceled because the mom and dad were setting shit up. Like they broke something of the oldest sons and was like, "It was your brother," and they're attack. Like
Oh yeah,
What
and they
kind
like
of
beat them up
fucking
or something.
sicko does anything? I would
Yeah,
like
they
to
were
see
like
my
pranking
two
their
sons
kids to
fight.
make them to right. They were like pranking their kids to make them cry and stuff. There was actually a family. There's actually a family now that's really popular, and they were saying that she's got to be like maybe 10, but she's been on YouTube since she was a baby. But they were
Wow.
saying that her analytics show over 70% of her viewers are men, grown men.
Oh wow.
And that's just
It's a
weird.
very
And then
social experiment they accidentally created with that kid.
Yeah.
Someone who so far lived their entire lives on YouTube. It's a very interesting experiment.
Yeah, that
if you
is
think about it.
a social
Fucked up, but
experiment.
it is kind of interesting to
But
look
that's
at.
disgusting, as Heaven's saying. The analytics are showing like it's all you
you
can
then they
find
make
out
her
it's men in the age groups and shit. That's disgusting.
yeah, and then like they make her own Instagram page. They got her doing the splits on there and all types of weird shit. Like
That's
that shit is
crazy.
weird.
Yeah,
You know?
like that show cute. That show Cuties. Like that was
Like
so
that one guy
divisive.
YouTuber tried to
Yes.
say. He was like trying to like.
He
on
made
one
a
hand,
comment about it. Yeah, he
on
got,
one hand, it made it look like he hated it. On the other hand, it seemed like he kind of enjoyed the
yeah,
movie.
he got,
It's like,
yeah, he was on No
no.
Jumper recently, and a whole bunch of shit happened. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That fucking guy.
But yeah, I mean, listen, nowadays you got to be hyper vigilant. You got to worry about what's happening when they go to school, what's happening on their phone. Them phones. I mean, let me ask you: does Eden have a phone of her own?
Yeah, she does have a phone of her own, and she
She's
is
a teenager. That's why I'm asking. So.
she is on like what is it, Snapchat, which I fucking hate it. But it's like her friends, none of them text through messaging.
No, I get it. I mean, that's how the kid. Even Katie, like she never goes on IG. Do you know what I mean? Like Katie
she
will
doesn't have
text
like
me
any
before
other
anything
social
else.
media or anything like that. I don't
See,
like
with
it.
Katie, we had to give it to her a little younger though because she had a brother who's a year and a half older. So it's like, yo, he's 14. He should have a phone, but she's only 12, so we had to go a little earlier than. I think 13's a good age.
Well, like I said, when she was younger, I wasn't really like as aware. So she did
you
have
didn't know
like an
this shit was happening.
Instagram and stuff like that. But as she got older, no, I took all that shit away. Like you don't need that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's toxic for me. I couldn't imagine how it's gonna affect a child. You know.
No, for sure. You have to have the other interests. You have to. You have to put that in your kids. But yeah, have you ever met anybody like I was speaking on? Like they're oblivious to what the kids listening to because their head's stuffed in
all the
something.
time. All the
It's
time.
crazy. I think
Like,
it's an epidemic. Yeah.
A lot of parents use those tablets and YouTube and stuff as babysitters. I mean,
As
it
a
does. It keeps the
babysitter.
kids quiet.
Amen.
Like my kids don't
Digital
watch that
babysitter.
stuff all the time, but as soon as they get a chance to watch it, they're like zombies to the TV.
Yep.
So I can
Digital
see why people
babysitter.
do that. Yeah.
I've seen people do that. Come down in the morning. It's 9:30 in the morning. They give them a bowl of cereal, tablet, boom, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But then that same kid to be on that same tablet till it goes to 0, then you charge it, put it right back on, and they're on it all. Like there has to be things in portions are better for you. If you come down in the morning and
that's to
you
like.
get. Yeah, I would give a 4-year-old a tablet and cereal. Here, sit at the table, eat your cereal. And I know you on that tablet. I could do what I got to do around the house real quick, straighten up, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but
do everything
they can't be on it all day.
It affects their mood as well. You know, like
for sure.
If they wake up and they get on their phones first thing in the morning, they're cranky.
Kid just shot his mother.
Babies all day. So
yep.
Kid
just shot his mother over it. She took his phone and he shot her.
Oh yeah, and the one that killed his mom over the games too.
Or the game, yep. Crazy. It's but I mean, the worst part is you never want to blame a victim. You never want to blame someone that died even more or was murdered by their own child. Let me be frank. But it's like at the end of the day, even with when Sandy Hook happened, I'm like, I don't want to blame the mother because the kid killed her, but at some point, we got to blame the parents. Like, how dare you put this fucking monster in society? You had this kid for at least 7,000 days. That's 20. That's 18. 7,000 days. It's like you didn't see this kid was like a little off his rocker, but of course we never want to blame the victim. But it's like that's the problem. We see these mass shooters. Oh, heaven fell off. But we see these mass shooters, and it's like nowadays they are blaming the parents. But I'm just wondering that sometimes, like, I don't think it's a snap of a snap of the fingers that your kid just snapped and fucking went off and did something violent. I think that was coming, and you've spoken on that with the one case where you're like, you said like, no, the parents were militarizing that kid, and when the kid acts out, now it's just his fault. That's not right.
That's why the an old thing is no one's born evil. Evil is nurtured. You can't be born evil. It's built into you.
That's a fact. Heaven, I hear you got kicked off, but appreciate you coming up and speaking on that. That, like I said, that's like a suspense movie, almost sitting there on the couch and that unwinding.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're like, did they just say her fucking name? You know what I mean? Something like that. What the fuck you mean the black cat behind her? Is this a coincidence? Now I got to focus in. Now I'm focused in and it sounded real weird.
A lot of them on like, especially like Omega or something like that, like it's like a random chat thing. They'll like pop up and be like, oh, I have your address. And they're like scare like little kids. They don't plan on an adult. Be like, okay. Be like, yeah. I know where you live. Okay. What are you going to do with that information, bro? Yeah. Pull up, go to fuck right ahead. I'll wait for you.
That's where I've always been. That's where I've always been with stuff too. They're like, I'll pull up. I'm like, unless you're firebombing my house or bombing it with a dynamite, I have a chance to murder you. So come on.
Oh, what? SWAT the house?
I'll try.
And like this, instantly ready.
Yeah.
What fucking mean? Like I can't hear a big ass SWAT van pull up in front of my house.
Listen, I get it.
8 motherfuckers come pouring out.
That's something we could speak on because I don't know if a lot of my chat is 100% on that. But swatting, if any of you guys don't, Kathy Gray, salute. If any of you guys don't know, swatting is it's popular with the younger generation, and when I say popular, I say unpopular. Very small minority of scumbags.
It's trolling, basically. It's like
a form of trolling.
Form.
It's the sick.
That's why I say people who troll in here who are like trying to seem like big and bad trolling. I'm like, y'all are small fry. This is bush league.
It's
bro.
one of the sickest forms of trolling. What you do is
what they like to do with the streamers midstream.
If someone's on a stream, like there's a kid, for example, Aiden Ross. He's big on Twitch. He's big on YouTube. All he does is very like we do on here. Maybe if it ain't me, it could be your other favorite content creator. Someone who's on your screen talking about shit. It don't have to be a topic, whatever. It's the heater kicking. Yeah. And so what they do, they've done this to this poor kid a few times. I feel he was an asshole, but now I feel bad for him. But they call the police with his address. Sometimes he's in a hotel room. They call the police with the address and say there's weapons, there's bombs, there's someone being held against their will, whatever, and a SWAT team is sent. And they think it's funny, and what's so disgusting about it is we don't know, with all the tensions with the police and people nowadays, and just nervous people, nervous police. How quick is someone going to get shot by?
Although now it is getting easier to track down the caller, especially on like.
And of course, it takes away from. Yeah. It takes away from when it's needed.
Yeah, although something that most police forces have said that if you're like a streamer or a content creator, you should notify them that, hey, there's a strong chance I may be swatted.
Well, that's what Logan Paul did.
That's what most streamers and stuff do with their local police. Like, hey, there's a strong chance someone might call and say, blah, blah, blah. I make so-and-so content.
Amos, Robin, salute y'all. Amos, Robin. Logan Paul spoke on that and said he called the police
streamers and YouTubers have said that, and then they got the SWAT thing, and it said the whole team, a single cop rolls up, knocks on the door, says, "You all right," and just walks away.
Yeah. Or they have your phone number and they call. Yeah.
Exactly my point. Although a few people have died from the swatting, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. That's
mostly because they're in their room, they can't headset, they can't hear what's going on, and they're like playing like a shooting game or something. The cops hear gunshots, it's bang, 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 right into the room.
People's dogs are getting killed. It's like, how is that funny? Like, there's a chance someone gets murdered. You thought that was a good joke?
I don't get how it's like. What's the funny part?
Yeah.
Where's the punchline?
There's stuff.
You interrupt their stream so you ruin the enjoyment, and now you almost get them fucking killed. Where's the funniness? Where's the humor?
I think the line comedy is subjective has been beaten down so bad that people with bad sense of humor can now.
Or no humor at all.
I seen a video the other. A lot of you know. I could explain this to you. As you may have seen it. It was on Instagram. This dude is eating a cheeseburger like a nut, making it, and the dude in Five Guys who works there is in the background looking like, what the fuck? And the guy's like, you want some? It was the dumbest fucking 5 seconds of my life. I hated it. I go in the comments, everyone's like, what the fuck? Funny Hood videos is showing there. One of those, something similar. So we're like, what the fuck? And people are in there like, I laughed at this. You just don't get it. And it's like, I don't get someone laughing like there's something wrong with them eating a cheeseburger. Like, even the setup sounds stupid. What the fuck?
This is what I've always said. We need to bring back bullying.
We need.
These are the kids who weren't bullied enough in school. Look what happened.
I'm your new president. I'm running for president, and my campaign.
Problems require old school solutions.
My campaign will be run on, if your kid's being bullied, give us the name of the bully. We'll research him. If he's good enough, we'll push him off onto a kid who needs to be bullied. Leave Johnny alone.
He's need one good year at Hazen to become
You're like, bully. Leave Johnny alone. He's a good kid.
He's a new guy.
Paul is a douchebag. Go fuck Paul up. Leave
he
Johnny
with a backwards cap on. Okay, fucking.
His dad's name is Jeff. Kill him.
He has nipple piercings and he's 13.
His name is Bradley. He calls himself Chadley. Chadley.
Change the subject to a more light situation, so I can actually make jokes about.
Yeah.
So,
well, of course, now we're getting into the little back stretch. I
don't know if they know. Obviously, I'm in the trade school or whatever, and I was talking to some kid in there, and obviously we all listen to rap, that kind of shit. And the conversation came up like, well, who do you think is the best rapper? And I said the best rapper that is currently alive is Kendrick Lamar, right? Obviously, Eminem's great too. Shout out Tommy D.
I think Eminem, Tommy D might be listening.
Shout out Tommy D.
Tommy D might be listening. Pamela J definitely listening. You better give Eminem his props.
Shout out that Eminem. But the kid said, "quote TK is better than Kendrick Lamar," and I said, "Get your dumb ass the fuck out of my
I will say this to prove the point. Who the fuck is TK? Exactly.
He's hip with the youth.
Kendrick Lamar is a Pulitzer Prize winner. First rapper in history to do so.
Listen, if a rapper only talks about, rolling up on the apps and letting it bang, I'm like, if that's the only thing you talk about, I'm starting to think you don't actually do that.
It's crazy.
It's like when Drake says, like, what fucking ops does Drake have, bro?
But yeah, I think that's, just to put a ribbon on a lot of what we spoke tonight, I think that's a big problem is just like there's not enough accountability, self-accountability, accountability for our children. Mm-hmm. As we said, we're speaking on, like I said, I don't, if you told me, if it's the stay-at-home mom or the stay-at-home dad, it doesn't matter in this society. I fully understand that. However, it's like, if you tell me when you come down in the morning, you're like, when I put the kid at the table, 4-year-old, let's say, here's the hypothetical, 5-year-old, dad brings him down. Mom's at work, dad brings him down. Puts him at the kitchen table, gives him his bowl of cereal, and puts his phone or the tablet in front of him with the cereal. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. It gives you 5 minutes to get your coffee, go take your shit, go fucking, straighten up the living room a little bit, whatever. I think that if you start that at 9 o'clock, I think that kid better not be on that device at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, it's done. Fucking do something else. Because after a while, what you see is the kids are gonna, they're getting recommended, and we all know recommended's a rabbit hole. Like if I'm watching, you could be watching our show right now, and then after it ends, a recommended would pop up, and it's gonna be something similar. It's gonna be another live stream, another person said very similar.
Dude.
Then the recommended after that could be a podcast, and then the one after that could be the person
going
on
down
the
YouTube rabbit
it's
hole
crazy.
Is a marvelous thing. You start on something,
the customer
go through 30 videos, and when you like pull the video and they go to your home screen, like holy shit, that's the video I started.
It's so funny. It's so funny and ironic you say the YouTube rabbit hole specifically, because this morning we show up when we get to this job site. We go through it's like a back fence through the basement and up, right? So when the guy opens the back door, because it's the back fence, it's locked. He opens it. He looks tired as fuck. So Pop goes, "Dad, you all right, buddy? I'm right." Pop loud and obnoxious. You have a rough night? And the guy's like, oh man, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole. I was up till 3
I
a.m.
don't blame him.
I said,
Been there
I
many a
said,
night.
been there before, my man. Been there before. Guys, we're going to be wrapping up in about 5 minutes because all good things must come to an end. And even though this is amazing and flowing, we're going to do it just like that. We're going to cut it off so you want to see it again and again. And you come back next Tuesday. Maybe even Junior becomes a recurring guest. Who knows? All this and more can be yours on The Price is Right. Let's just look at the chat a little bit.
Ask them for a mini Q&A right now. Fuck it, we got 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do a little mini Q&A with Cheese Curl Poppy here if any of you guys have a question. Amos said kids need to play outside more. I agree 100% with that. Because if the internet ever goes down, you're going to need to know how
I
to
feel like
survive.
it's kids around my age were like truly like the last ones that actually play outside real consistent. Because you remember when we lived in Philly, me and Katie were outside almost every day.
Yeah.
And we only stopped when we got up here. That's because we mostly just got older
comfortable.
and playing outside
You
kind of
got more
wasn't really
comfortable. You didn't have to have, you weren't down there. It was like sitting in the house, be bored, watch TV. It's like in here, even up here, there's more shit doing. This house, there's more shit to do. It's just a different environment. There's only 4 of us. Mommy's at work. Katie ain't
Not to
here.
mention
It's 2 of us.
everyone up here too doesn't really go out that much anyway. So what? Go out by yourself and do jack shit. And plus the town we live in doesn't have a lot to do.
And I
anyway.
think that matters so
Throw
much.
fucking rocks at a tree.
I think that matters for so many reasons too. I think one, like I said, what if the internet went down? A lot of these kids are going to be like roaming the streets like fucking.
Well, I mean, if the internet
their
suddenly
parents are
went
gonna be-
down, it would be like
their
World War
parents are
Z
going, yeah,
outside.
their parents are going to be like, get out, you're on my nerves. And those parents who shoved the tablet in the kid's face all day, they ain't got that no more. So what are they going to do?
Start hitting the fucking bottle.
Yep.
So had to get hit with a bottle of Jack, just letting it go away.
Yeah, we're gonna episode 2 will be next Tuesday. Like I said, we'll either do one of these again, or it could be more structured, could be a different guest. I'm working on a fucking ladies' night that has an all-star lineup for y'all. When I
Cheese
say
Girl Poppy in a wig.
Cheese Curl Poppy is gonna have
Chafina.
2 different balloons as boobies, a wig. But now I got with some ladies, and I got a all-star cast. I'm trying to get
Got any
together.
questions flowing in, or
I'm not seeing that
not
yet.
a very energetic audience?
No, they're chatting. We got 17 here. They're chatting, but everybody knows we're winding it down.
Might as well get a few questions in. Right?
But all right, I could ask you a few. So,
Might as well.
what is your dream job
Some entertainment related.
in the entertainment field? Yeah.
Right, I don't really care what, something. Because I feel the greatest joke of all time is making more money than a college graduate doing the dumbest shit possible. I think that's really funny. I will make a major life decision if I think it's kind of funny.
It's
That's just how I
definitely
am.
revenge, though. When people, that's why I always give Pop my Pop credit, because like even with the internet shit, when the
Mhm.
meme page was really popping and everything. Instead of being like some dads that could be totally negative and be like, it's stupid, the internet's stupid. He literally said, I don't really understand it, but if it's your thing, whatever. Which is still somewhat dismissive, but it's not as negative. You know what I mean? Like he said he didn't understand. I don't understand how people can watch. He don't understand how people can watch, but he's getting it now because he watches some YouTube. So he's seeing like the guy who works on his car and talks for a half hour and shit like that. So
I mean, doing comedy is something I kind of want to do because I remember in 10th grade, a math teacher said you can't earn a lot of money or any money without get a good job without a college diploma. And I purely
Agreed.
out of spite want to show I can make more. I can make your entire salary in one night just making people giggle.
pettiness rules the world.
Exactly.
Amen.
Fuck them.
All right, guys, we will see you next next Tuesday for Convos, the new show here on Dirty Kenzo Productions. You'll see me again this Thursday on Cooking with Kellz. Don't forget to tune in for those password giveaways Thursday night and Friday afternoon on Murph at 420. We got music, news, and live chat for your Friday ride home on 420. This week we got 90s rap. I have listened to this fucking playlist 5 times already because it is so fucking popping. We're going to have so much fun Friday for the 420 listeners. And then, of course, Sunday morning nostalgic breakfast. I'll be getting them Saturday nights in with Barn. We're going to be getting them 2 Bad Opinions. And again, Tuesdays, we might be able to get Cheese Curl Poppy here again. So we're using Convos for our show where we're not playing music, where we want to talk, we want a panel, stuff like that. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit that like button and share. Subscribe to Cheese Curl Poppy if you'd like. Even just to show support, you know, drop a like for them, a comment, whatever. Salute to those who have before. We appreciate you guys. Wendy, thank you for your contribution. Anybody else who did, I don't always get them. Thank you in advance if you did. Again, we know your hard-earned money, and we really appreciate it. With that being said, I am Murph for my young lad here, Junior, a.k.a. Cheese Curl Poppy, for Queen Kellz and all, Katie, and all of Dirty Kenzo Productions. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next Monday. Salute. What the fuck? I said Monday again. We'll see you next Tuesday right here on Convos.